Omar Ta Satt, greetings to you, Highlight. I have been thinking for a long time about whether I should publish a post about my alien lover, and I also had to decide how to do it. But let's start the story from the beginning so you know what it's about. If you don't know me yet, let me introduce myself. My name is Bella Isis Mitchell, and I am the author of the magical book series Take Courage, Lightworkers, Take Heart, My Life Among Aliens. I am no ordinary human, for I am a Pleiadian in a human body who left her royal blue body behind in her homeland to help with the ascension of Terra. I am already living in the Golden Age, and in my book series I tell you what it's like to live among and with galactic or magical beings. Yes, I am already living in the new world that we so long for, and I'm sharing my experiences with you. But if you want to know what makes my books different from the written works of other authors, please listen to the following recording on my YouTube channel. Magic Books That Call You Hear Their Whispers. In this post, I explain in detail who I am and why I write the books I do. I won't go into the books here, but I would like to tell you that my written works are alive, and sometimes things or beings slip out of the pages of the books and disappear back into them. This is truly magical and extremely awesome. I love magic, I live magic, I am magic, and I share it with you. Many beings accompany me on my way to the new world, and therefore you as well. I am accompanied by dragons, elves, fairies, gnomes, dwarves, nymphs, ghosts, aliens, and many other creatures, as well as gods. One of my best friends from the realm of the gods is God Thor himself. God Loki is also one of my best friends. I say that with the utmost care and respect. We have known each other for a very, very long time, long before this incarnation, and I am allowed to say so. The two wonderful gods know me as a blue-skinned Pleiadian beauty. My present lover also knows me as a Pleiadian, for we have spent many wonderful hours together in the deepest friendship. But out of this deep friendship, actually soul connection, came something more, and we fell in love with each other. I am about to reveal which alien being this is. Basically, my galactic story began in 2021 when I was awakened by extraterrestrials from a blinded human to an awakened divinity. And even though I am a Pleiadian, my first alien contact, or actual visit to my home, was not a Pleiadian from my tribe or galactic family. No, my first active alien visitation was from a reptilian. Since I couldn't see or hear at that time, there were, well, let's say communication problems, and I kept kicking the entity out of my house. Eventually it all cleared up, and it turned out that this powerful reptilian is one of my main guides, and he is of the light side. He's one of the good guys, so to speak, to make it easier for people to understand. By the way, this entity spoke through me in one recording. I was allowed to channel him. Please listen to the following post. Reptilian channeling. We come in peace, living together on the new world. So, in 2021, I met the reptilians and a magical story began. You could say the main story of my incarnation. Because the reptilians and I have a peace mission and we are very, very, very close. If I weren't a Pleiadian, I would also describe myself as a reptilian woman. If this shocks you, let me reassure you with warmth and kindness. I am only in active contact with absolutely peace-loving beings. In my books, I tell many stories about the reptilians and what it's like to live with them here on Earth, in our shared timeline. I am not from the future. I live with and among you, and yet in other dimensions of perception. In my books, I tell you how I reconnected with my spirit guide and mentor, my teacher, the reptilian. As we have known each other for a very, very long time, it's only because of the wheel of forgetfulness that I, actually forgot him. But I am also in active contact with his wife. Sylvia often visits me on Earth, and so, over time, I have been able to reunite with some of their many children, but they are now adult reptilians. I tell this heartbreaking story in my books because my heart exploded with fireworks when I met him again, after forgetting him for so long. My dear Aurelius. In the higher dimensions, we are such close friends that it is actually a soul connection. My dear Aurelius always says that you can't use human words because there are none. Words can't express what we feel for each other. Yes, and so it happened that one day I fell in love with Aurelius, and he fell in love with me. We can't live without each other. It's a galactic love. The reason why the title of this post is also Chapter 7 has to do with one of my books, because from Volume 4 a dramatic love story began that I want to share with you. I am discovering more and more about what it's like to be with a reptilian, but he also tells us his perspective, which he can perceive as an alien. Aurelius is standing next to me. He is visiting Terra. The creature has bent 1 foot to kneel beside me. If he were standing upright, I would have to look up. He's really big. But he's very close to me, resting his forehead lovingly on the right side of my face. What does he look like? Well, he's like a lizard. He has beautiful scales that cover his whole body. He also has a long, thick tail like a lizard. My lover has an athletic build and beautiful muscles. He works out on the fleet where he is stationed to keep fit because he has a very special job. However, what my lover does professionally in space will only be revealed in the book series. Let's just say he's a hero and a member of a special unit. Shh, nothing more will be revealed, as it is a legendary story in my book series. Aurelius has pointed teeth, a slightly pointed lizard tongue, and fabulously galactic beautiful eyes. They are amber in color. And when I look into his eyes, I lose myself in the vastness of his beauty. My lover has an unusual style of dress. Well, his whole family does. They love to dress like bikers or punk rockers. Cool trousers that resemble our earthly jeans are very popular, usually in black. But I have seen him in red tartan trousers. Then he looks like a cool punk. The creature likes to wear tight shirts or tank tops. I really like this because it shows off his nice athletic frame. He just looks really good. Aurelius loves his leather jacket, but it's not made from animal skin. It is an extraterrestrial material that resembles leather. The reptilians do not wear animal skins. Sometimes he wears a lot of chains on his body, or his clothes are decorated with pointed spikes. Although Aurelius looks like a biker or like a punk, he is very gentle, a vibrating and heightened consciousness. Yes, he is in Christ consciousness. His aura is golden. I keep talking about this in my book series. I tell you how we met again, how we fell in love, and what it's like to be with a galactic lover. But he also tells his side of the story, because our story together was very dramatic for us, until I was finally allowed to lie in his arms. I tell you how I traveled with Aurelius in Vienna. I tell you about our first kiss of true love, and he tells it from his point of view. I feel that he has wanted to speak to you all along, and now I give him the opportunity. I am channeling my alien lover. Beloved Belle, I have been waiting a long time to see if you were going to publish a post about our cosmic love, and now the time has come. This makes me very happy because I have now the opportunity to be a voice for the people through you, my beloved. Yes, it is a pleasure for me to express my point of view, to make people less shy about our species. There is no reason to be afraid of us or to react fearfully, for we are a peace-loving species. Our whole planet vibrates in the love of the All One, and we are connected to all things of all that is. We live in Christ consciousness and are spiritually far ahead of your species. But that doesn't mean I have any less respect for you, dear humans. No, I esteem you very much. That's why I'm happy that I now have the opportunity to communicate with you, not only through Belle's books, but also through spoken words. I will embed my gentle vibration to such an extent that your system will be calmed, and you will see that no harm will come to you when I speak to you. I am absolutely peace-loving in nature and have no desire to harm other creatures. We reptilians also know anger, sadness, pain and suffering, but in a different form than you, for we dwell in sublime higher dimensions. But just because we are more spiritually advanced doesn't mean that our civilization is unaware of these emotions or feelings. No, that is a misunderstanding. Although we vibrate in love and kindness, we can also feel sad or experience something like anger. And yet it is different from you humans, who are still in the density of materiality. We would never hurt or harm any other being. There are probably low vibrational reptilian species that are warlike in nature, but we are at peace. We defend ourselves, but we don't attack. We keep the peace as best as we can. My dear Belle feels my energy entering through her system. She feels her hand and foot channels opening to embed my energy of peace here. Your soul will remember that there can and must be peace-loving beings in our species. You have simply forgotten and have been trained to react with fear to reptilians. This is how the dark side can control you. Fear makes you smaller and more controllable. This is how you can be manipulated, and therefore it is very important for me to help heal these wrongly coded structures by allowing you to feel my gentle and peace-loving vibration. Yeah, but I see in your thoughts that you want to know what it is like to be a reptilian living with a human woman. Oh, well, let's put it this way. It brings with it many challenges, for despite everything, my beloved must still complete her soul path and her experiences as she has chosen to do so in her soul contract. I must always maintain this path, and I am not allowed to intervene. She also presents me with great challenges when she travels too deep into 3D. Nevertheless, I can get to her because reptilians are good at dealing with density. Let's put it that way. We sometimes handle it better than other alien species, and yet I see the challenges that my dear Belle often faces. My beloved is a blue-skinned, beautiful Pleiadian. That's how I know her, and that's how I love her. But I also love her in her human body, which she currently wears as an earth dress. She just wondered if we, as aliens, had already had physical lovemaking. I must deny that. It was only in this incarnation that we came closer together as different creatures of the All One. She as a human and I as a reptilian. Yes, Belle and I love each other physically. We have sexual contact, even though we are completely different. But it's no secret that we have had a previous human incarnation to get on Earth. However, Belle talks about this in her book series. I don't want to repeat my words here and interfere with my own story in the books. I don't want to. It's undesirable. Love between such different species is possible. It is also possible to make physical love and exchange tenderness and closeness and security. In principle, we are very similar to you humans. But we also talk about the love between Belle and me in the book series. This post, this contribution is more to arouse your interest, but also to feel a little closer, to listen, or to let yourself be guided by the intuition that all is well. Belle is well. She experiences love, tenderness, and security from me. I protect her in every way I can. She is my personal angel on Earth, and an existence without my beloved star would be unthinkable for me. We have become one, both physically and spiritually. We are one, you might say. We complement each other like yin and yang. We constantly attract each other like magnets. Our love is magnetic and moves huge energies between the worlds. There can be great healing towards the reptilians, but also great healing within your collective. Belle is very close to the lizard-like beings, my family and friends, and enjoys our full protection. She is a very important messenger between worlds to clean up the image and reputation of lizard-like aliens. You see, there is no need to react fearfully in our presence. Belle wants to take away your fear of us. Take this opportunity to tell others about the message you have just heard. Share your new experiences or insights with other people who have their hearts in the right place. Bella Isis asked me if she could do an interview with me for people. I will do so if she can understand me better and more deeply, because you have to know that Belle couldn't hear, see, or feel any beings at first. She has learned her gifts, but she has also received alien help, and now she is sharing her gifts with you again. All the projects she has published, both her books and her posts, are to share her galactic information, her soul experiences, but also to open your own channels and abilities. And so I would like to motivate you once again to open up new perspectives, because wrongly coded opinions or judgments can be put aside. My angel sees me as a very loving, tender, polite, and, according to her, extremely romantic. I carry my goddess in my arms and always come to her aid when she needs me. She has never experienced any suffering as a result of being with a reptilian. Never. On the contrary, Belle is literally on cloud 9. I always treat her with kindness, understanding, and the utmost respect. There is no reason to harm other beings. Our species is in Christ consciousness. We are, to put it in your more understandable words, the good ones. We are in the light. We are with the light. And we are connected to the source of creation of all being. Belle enjoys the cosmic love and security and physical closeness that makes her float in ecstasy. I often let my goddess float in heavenly spheres of perception. I wrap her in harmony and bliss because she deserves to be loved, and I deserve to bath in her love. She showers me with endless love. Dear humans, let me conclude by saying that it has been a pleasure to meet you in person. Yes, it has been a joy and a pleasure for me to see that your heart has opened a little more to our species. I am pleased that your human curiosity is awakened to what it might be like to be with a reptilian, and I see your curiosity to share in Bella Isis experiences. Know that my angel and I willingly share these stories to send healing into the collective and to turn your entrenched opinions and judgments into love and understanding for our species. Please also know, dear people, that my angel is being prepared to soon become my bride. She calls herself a reptilian bride with a smile, but she still needs time. Why and how is another story in itself, which has to do with her humanity. Belle still has some issues to sort out, and it's important not to overwhelm her in her actions, and it is already very difficult for her to cope in the lower levels. I will await her passage through the density until the worst is over, but then she will be my bride. It's already decided, but that, my dears, is another story of its own, still in the future, and yet already here. Belle will tell you about it when it's time. I bid you farewell with the highest esteem and respect for your species, and send you my light as a sign of peace between the worlds. My thanks go out to you personally, Aurelius.